Hi everybody. Okay, 8:32. I'm getting better. I'm always late. So my special guest is Ansel. He's beginning to realize that every time I come in here and call his name that he is has to come up on the table and be my guinea pig. And for some reason he's shaking right now. I don't know why. So I know it's kind of late, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Harry, leave him alone. Shh, we have to do the video, okay? Can we be quiet? Shh. I'm gonna put you in the other room. Well, I know he's bugging you. He wants to play with you. Come here. I'm gonna have you be my guinea pig. Maybe I will have you be my guinea pig. Let me see your face. Ooh, we are gonna do you. You're gonna be my guinea pig because Ansel doesn't have tear staining. He has, so when I say tear staining, guys, I also mean any staining on your dog at all. Like sometimes they lick their feet and they get it on their feet. Ansel gets it around his mouth right here, but I gave up. I know I could get rid of it, but he likes to chase the turtles in the pond. So he's in my pond all the time, so forget it, I can't get it. His tear staining is caused by something different. So tear staining, I would say almost all tear staining is caused by an imbalance in the diet. But sometimes it can be like Ansel, my dear friend here, who likes to get into the pond and get all the bacteria up around his mouth. That's why he only has it around his mouth and nowhere else. But tear staining can also be caused by, it's interesting because their tear ducts can be clogged, and then it can cause, so the tear ducts run along, they have a drain in between their eye right here, you know, like right at the crack of their eye, they have the drain. And then the tear produced at the top. And if it gets clogged, then it can't drain, so it comes out. But here's the interesting thing. And you know I'm going to talk about bacteria if we're going to do this video. So if your tear ducts are clogged, if your pet's tear ducts are clogged, or they have something that's causing them to tear a lot, like sometimes they can have an inverted eyelash, and those kind of things can cause them to constantly tear and tear and tear. Allergies can cause them to tear. There's a lot of things that can cause them to tear, but the staining that comes from those tears is because the gut bacteria is off. And so when they're tearing, they're actually tearing in, and they don't have enough good bacteria to keep it under control. So that's a different thing. And then like Ansel picks up bacteria from the pond, and I gave up. He just wants to chase those turtles. It's the best time of his life. So, but keep in mind when I say tear staining, I'm not just talking about stains around the eyes. I'm talking about the bacteria they get from licking. You know, when you get dogs who are licking their paws, and then they get like it looks like an orange paw. That's bacteria coming from their mouth. So if they're getting orange stains all over, I always tell people when we're going to start looking at bacterias in the body, you want to look in your dog's mouth, because every time your dog swallows, he's swallowing bad bacteria if those teeth are all infected. So there's some things that we're going to have to address if you want those tear stains to go away permanently. I'm going to talk about ways you can get rid of both ways, so I'll get deeper into what we're going to do to kind of treat the tear stain. But I want you to really know that if you want them to go away permanently, you have to start looking at things like their teeth. So if they're carrying a bunch of bacteria and tartar and plaque in their mouth, then you're going to have a hard time getting rid of tear. In fact, you probably will never get rid of the tear stains unless you want to continually keep putting stuff on the eye. But our goal is that you're not doing that. My goal is always that pet ownership is super easy, and it should be. You shouldn't have to clean your dog's ears. You shouldn't have to clean out their eyes all the time. You shouldn't have to do all of these things. But once it's there, I also want to come up with some kind of natural ways for you guys to take care of it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But what do you smell? What do you smell? Okay. So this is going to feel really gross and weird and all of those things. So once I've checked to make sure that my dog's teeth are clean, because I don't want him to be swallowing all that bacteria into his gut. So sometimes if you want to get rid of tear staining, your first step is going in and having their teeth cleaned. Completely get rid of all. You have no idea how much bacteria that your dogs are swallowing into their gut, which is causing so many problems. So first step, make sure we have a clean mouth so that we've got that going on. Next step is you're going to want to change the diet, right? We can't have any starches or sugars and all that kind of stuff, because what that does helps yeast grow in the body. And if you have too much yeast, then it allows for bad bacteria also to grow. So you're gonna have to change the diet. Sorry. But in the meantime, these are some products. I swear I should start charging these companies, but I just don't, whatever. So this is something you have to know. So this is goat's milk, but goat's milk is not what's getting rid of the tear stains. This is infused with bacteria, good bacteria, and that is what's going to get rid of these tear stains. So we're basically using good bacteria to eat bad bacteria, both inside the gut and on the face. So you can use Answers does it, Primal does it, a couple of companies have a goat's milk, and the reason why they infuse it into the goat's milk is because it's the best place for bacteria to live. That's why we always have, if you have milk in your refrigerator for too long, it grows bacteria, because it's a very good home for bacteria, which is why I like to transfer bacteria in through goat's milk. They also make a kefir, which I really like also. So you can use either one. The kefir's thicker. Sometimes it's easier to get it to stay in place, but we are going to saturate Harry's face with milk. And I know that's disgusting, but it's the most natural way. If any of you are mothers and your babies, when they were babies, I gotta grab something real quick. If when your babies were babies and they had eye infections, they actually tell moms to put their breast milk into their eye. So it helps because the breast milk has all sorts of stuff in it that can help with bacterias and things like that. So it's kind of the same idea, is that we're going to use a goat's milk that's infused with bacteria to saturate the tear stain. But what's so awesome about it, unlike some of the things I've heard, I've actually heard people say that you should use peroxide up around it. Oh my God, don't do that. Don't do that. That peroxide near the eye, it could be very damaging. There's also some things on the market that you've probably heard about. I don't want to talk bad about anything, but a lot of the products on the market that work because they have an antibiotic in it. So you will have to use that. It will work because we're talking about bacteria, but as you're trying, I highly encourage you not to use those products, because those products are going the opposite direction that you want to go. They're killing the bacteria on the face, but they're also killing the good bacteria in the body. So you're just going to perpetually need to do that all the time. So you want to be really careful. Some of them will use a cream that you can put on, and I haven't really found any of those to work. My best solution is what I'm telling you guys right now. I know it works. I've had people do it. It absolutely works. It just takes some time. So it depends on how much you care. So before I do this, I also want to mention to you that sometimes people think that tear staining and the staining and all of that kind of stuff is just cosmetic. I don't see it that way. It's a breakdown in the body. Something is wrong. So those are warning signs to me. If your dog is excreting bacteria that's growing on his coat, it's the body saying something's off. And yeah, you may not see any other symptoms. There may not be, your dog's not throwing up, your dog's not acting sick. There's not all of these things. But believe it or not, even anxiety, I think, comes from the gut. So just something as simple as changing your dog's diet and changing their gut might even help you with anxiety. So pay attention to the warning signs that we're getting from our animals, such as tear staining and teeth and all of that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure that we're doing that, and knowing that it isn't just cosmetic. It isn't. If it was just cosmetic, I wouldn't be here. I'm here because I want your dogs to be as healthy as they can be, and I truly believe that the warning signs are there for us if we just pay close attention. So what you're going to want to do, first thing, change the diet, make sure our teeth is clean, all of those kind of things. Then you're going to take either a infused goat's milk or a kefir milk. I didn't thaw out the goat's milk yet, the kefir, or I would do the kefir. Kefir's much. The reason you want to shake it really well is because the bacteria is going to sink to the bottom. And that's what you want. You want the bacteria. So if I just pour from the top of this and I just put goat's milk on there and there's no bacteria in it, it's not going to work. I need those little clumps. And you know what bad milk looks like. Most of you do. If you don't, when you pour this out, that's what bad milk looks like. But this isn't bad. This is actually good bacteria. But bacteria clumps up no matter whether it's good or bad. So get a bowl. And then you're going to want to pour out your milk. and you're gonna let it sit just for a second so you can start to see. Obviously, I want your dog to drink it because we need to treat the inside. So it's okay for your dog to drink goat's milk infused with bacteria. Eventually, that's what we have to do anyway because we got to treat the stomach area. If you guys are asking a bunch of questions and stuff, that is awesome, and I hope so. If I don't get them answered just because I talk a lot, then I promise later on I'll go back and I'll answer all the questions. So, okay, so I like to use a cotton ball, but you can use a Q-tip if you feel more comfortable. Just be careful that you don't, get it in there. Oh my gosh, somebody loves this goat milk. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna find like a lot of the bacteria. You can see it. It looks like little rice in there. And then once I get it, and if it gets in the eye, like I told you, it's okay. Not that I want to drench it in there, but I'm gonna get all this goat's milk up around the eye. Harry's got some tear staining around his mouth, so I can put it around the mouth if I want. Both sides he's got it. So I'm gonna get it into the root, down deep into the root. And you really, really, really wanna saturate that eye. Just get it in there. Not the eye, I'm sorry, the tear staining. Wherever that tear staining is, you really wanna get a good amount on there. And let it just get all up around his face. Okay, now here's the gross hard part for you guys. Here, you can drink some more. That has to sit. Sorry, ew, gross. That has to sit. So it needs to sit for, I like to leave it on overnight. So make sure that you're not doing this when you're having company over because it's kind of nasty and gross. So I'm gonna let that sit for a whole day, and then the next day, so you want to plan it maybe on a weekend, do it Friday night. Yay, Friday night. That's something. What night is it tonight? I'm so excited about doing this. Friday night would be a good night, Saturday night, so that the next day you can get up and you can wash your dog's face. But here's the kicker. We're going to wash your dog's face in something that is also going to help with bacteria and all that fun stuff. So you guys have heard me talk about New shampoo. I call it N shampoo. I don't know if if I'm the only one, but I like to call it N shampoo because it's hard to pronounce the Nuigir. It's made in Japan, but it's a German name, so some people get confused with it. But what I like about it is it's got some enzymes in it, and that's all it is enzymes in ocean water. And so that's what we're trying to do, is break down bacteria. And so when you wash this all off, you can use, when you first wash it, you can wash with a very mild shampoo. And you're gonna just wash the whole face. And then after, I want you to wash the face with this when you do it. And then this company also makes a lotion. It's Nuigir lotion. So you wanna have both on hand. So you wanna have the shampoo to wash the face and saturate it and let your dog sit in the shampoo for about 10 minutes. This is also, I have never seen it hurt a dog's eye. I'm not saying put it in your dog's eye, but I've never seen it hurt a dog's eye. So you want to wash your face maybe with a tearless shampoo or with this shampoo. This shampoo will be fine. But if you're going to wash the face with a regular shampoo, use either a baby shampoo is fine, or we use something called puppy tears. Get it all nice and clean and get all that goat's milk off because it's gross. And then wash with this. Let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes. And then when it's all done, I want you to put the lotion on top and leave it, okay? So you're just gonna put a little bit of the lotion around this area and you're gonna leave it. But you're gonna make sure, see, now your dog didn't hate getting the tear stains done because it was a pleasure to come up here and drink what we're gonna eventually stop is these tear stains. So this is my next thing I like to do. So this is a treat that you have to be very diligent with this. I've had some people say it doesn't work, but it's because they're not doing all of the steps. This only works if you do all of the steps. If you only do part of the step, if you did the goat's milk on the face like this, and that's all you did, it will go away. But like I said, you'll have to do it forever. So unless you like doing this kind of thing, I don't know, maybe you do. But if you want it to go away forever, then you have to do all the steps. We have to change the diet. We have to do let them drink the goat's milk. You have to do all that kind of stuff. So Answers makes a cheese bite. Or you get them in like the freezer section or whatever of wherever you get your good dog food. This also has bacteria in it. So I like to give this so that you're having this constant flow of good bacteria. And the reason why that's so important is because it takes a long time for the colonies to grow within the stomach. So you have to just have this constant flow, because some of it's going to get shed out every time they poop, and we want to grow a new colony. And so I like to let them drink the goat's milk, give them the cheese bites. I'll give them 1 or 2 a day. So that I've got different bacteria, because that's the other problem, is that sometimes we don't know which bacteria they're missing. You can run a test. It's from a company called Animal Biome, which I absolutely love, and it can tell you how off your gut is. But I warn you, you do that test and you're going to be like, oh my God, my dog is so unhealthy. It can be really scary, because you'll find out how undiverse your dog's gut bacteria is and how diverse it should be, because diversity is what we want in a gut, because all of the bacteria do something. And I always tell people, picture a puzzle, and if one piece is missing, then something has to fill in there. And unfortunately, it's almost never good bacteria that fills in there. It's either yeast or bad bacteria. And then eventually it starts to spread out until it covers your entire puzzle, and your entire puzzle is covered with yeast and bacteria. So when you have the Animal Biome test done, it shows you how diverse or undiverse your dog's gut is. I can look at a dog from the outside and I can tell you his gut bacteria is off, because if it wasn't, he wouldn't have those tear stains. So that's another way you can do it. If you want to look at your dog's gut bacteria, you can have Animal Biome run a poop test, and then you can actually do the other thing you can do to try to get the gut bacteria. His isn't too bad, but if I have a dog, like sometimes I see dogs that is so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad that it gets crusty and bloody underneath their eyes, because the bacteria actually starts eating at the skin and the mouth starts getting rotted out. Those dogs, I highly recommend you doing a fecal transplant. That's another way to get, and it sounds so much more, oh my God, a fecal transplant on my dog. But it's just a pill, but it's time released, and it's poop that comes from a donor dog. And so they take these really healthy guts from these donor dogs, and they put them encapsulate them into a time released tablet that you give your dog, and then it makes it through all the stomach acids and all the stuff that it needs to do, and it gets into the intestine. Dogs only have one, they don't have an upper and a lower, so it gets into the intestine, and then it opens up, and then all the bacteria goes and it tries to grow in there and push out all the bad bacteria. That's a very, it is advanced, but it's a quicker way to do it, and it's more effective way to do it, but it's expensive. It's not always necessary. Sometimes we can do it this way. So I can probably get closer to this and ask you guys, does this work on stains on feet too? Yes. So absolutely. Anything that you want to use it on, and they're allowed to lick it too. So if you put it on their feet, here's a little warning I'll give you guys. If I put him down right now, there's a good chance all these other dogs are going to come try to lick his face. So if you have 2 dogs at home, know that that's a possibility. But if you put it on their feet, there's a real good chance that they're going to go lick their feet, which is totally fine. They're never going to be able to get it all off. Is this just any goat's milk? No. Very, very important you guys understand, it's not the goat's milk that's doing this. It has to be goat's milk that's infused with bacteria. So there's a couple of companies that do it. Like I said, Answers does it, Primal does it, Bones and Company does it. But if you just went to the grocery store and said, oh my God, Carrie said use goat's milk and it's going to get rid of tear stains, in about a week you're going to say I'm crazy. It'll work on any part of the stains, so because the stains are caused by bacteria. It takes, if you're diligent and you want to do this every single night, it will take you probably about 2 weeks, depending on how intense the stains are. So if they're not too bad, I've seen them, and I encourage you guys to take before and after pictures, because sometimes it's hard to see the stains changing. But if you do those before, like you take pictures every single day, you'll be amazed. They'll go from a dark orange to a light orange to eventually they're gone. But I would say, depending on how bad it is, you're looking at about a 2-week period if you're doing, or 1 week period if you do it every day. If you do it every other day, you're probably looking at about a 2-week. It depends though. If you have, and you're not doing the internal, then remember, if you're not doing the internal, every time your dog tears, he's putting back the bacteria. So, and your dog's going to tear. So depending on how serious you want to be about it, and I hope that you guys will be serious about it, because like I said, tear stains are a sign of something wrong. Not necessarily that your dog's going to die tomorrow, but it is something wrong. So please take tear staining seriously. It could also lead to, it could be an eye problem or something that your dog's tearing too much. But even if they're tearing too much, like I said in the beginning of this video, they shouldn't be staining. So that's the stuff we want to look at. Hi, sweetheart, and make sure that their teeth are clean. Diet, you want to make sure, I think we talked about that. Hi, Nate. How's Zoe? If you guys listen to the podcast, if you just recently listened to, we posted it a couple weeks ago, we told the story about Zoe, the heart problems that she had, and Nate is on watching. So how are you? Oh, the one thing Zoe never had a problem with was tear staining. That's good. That's good. Some dogs don't. It has a lot to do with gut bacteria, and you fed her well from day one though, right? I think she was eating a good diet. I think I remember you telling me you went to the pet store and then they, told you to buy this food and you were like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, diet is a big deal to make sure. Also, antibiotics. I'm so glad we started talking because it makes, look at how she's just licking away at this thing. If you go back on antibiotics, so let's say that you get rid of all the tear stains and everything looks good, it's gone, you've got your dog on the right diet, but I don't know, something, God forbid, happens to your dog that you have to put, because I don't give dogs antibiotics unless it's like life or death, and you give your dog, she's always been on fresh food, no kibble. So if you go on an antibiotic, you're going to need to start this all over again. So probably not as intense and probably not as long, but an antibiotic will kill the gut bacteria, again, leading you back up to a situation that you don't want to be in. So keep that in mind, guys. I don't know if there's any questions. I usually am pretty good about answering stuff because I've been doing this for so many years. I know the questions that people have been asking me for years. I'll talk to his mom and see if maybe we can keep an eye on his tear stains. If she continues this at home, I can give you guys some before and after pictures. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. I hope if your friends' dogs have tear stains, please encourage them to do something about it, because like I told you, it's a little warning signs. But otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go, okay? You guys have a good night. I don't know what else. Oh, you know what? If you guys want to stay tuned, I've been working on my friend, but I haven't worked with her for a couple hours. She does really, you guys watched a video the other day with my friend Lola. She's sleeping right now. I've been working with her on doing her face, and you probably saw it when she screamed. Do you have the cheese? Yeah, I always keep the cheese on hand. It's always in my freezer section. I love it. It's so good for so many reasons, but for tear staining in particularly, I always have it. Let's see what Lola does. Come here, Lola. So if you guys watched my video, if you didn't, about how to train puppies and how important it is to train puppies so that they don't become very aggressive dogs to be groomed, you'll know that I'm working with one of the hardest cases I've worked on in a long time. Her name is Lola. Lola. Wait till you see how cute she is. Oh, hang on. I wasn't gonna do this, but now I am. So let's see. So this is Lola, and she's the one I've been working with her face to try to be able to touch her face and turn scissors on without her screaming. And we're still struggling. She's probably gonna be my but this is a good sign. She's probably going to go down as is your June event canceled? Yeah, unfortunately, I spoke with all the doctors and we just decided that it would be better. We're gonna try to do it in October. It's so expensive, Nate, to put it together and to fly everybody out and do it. And it's so important, and I'm so ready to do it, but it's so important that more people are there, and I'm very concerned that they won't be. Look she's letting me hold her face right now, and she's not screaming. That's actually a good sign. I've been working with her all weekend. She goes home tomorrow. But I just turned the scissors on. Turned them on. I just started. She hates the scissor sound. But let's see if I can get her to... Oh, no. Oh, don't bump your head. I know. She's doing so much better. I know that I'm going to do another one with her soon. Okay, we're not going to do that. But I've been working with her all weekend. She's getting there. If you guys go back and watch the video, I couldn't even do this to her a couple of days ago. She would have been screaming bloody murder. So she's doing really well. Good girl. Not so much scared anymore, huh? Good girl. Well, I'm so proud of her. Watch out, sweetheart. Is she worse than Trixie? Oh my gosh. Well, she's a baby and she's never been groomed at all. So you go back and watch the first video, you'll see what I'm talking about. So some dogs, by the time they get on my table, I can't help them. I had a dog, if you guys watched the one the other day, one of the worst cases I've dealt with in a long time, but I didn't start grooming that dog since a puppy. You can really only get them fully, she's been playing all day, she's tired. So when I say she's difficult in a different way. She's not what I call breaking, which is trying to get them to give in and let you do it. And she's taking longer to break. Trixie probably is never going to break for me. But puppies will break. I call it breaking because it's like when they're trying to get a horse to stop trying to throw them off and then eventually the horse starts trotting. It's the same kind of thing. But it's because of her age that I can get her to be like the perfect little don't move at all kind of thing. And that's not always the case. I've had a few puppies over the years who just, but she's already starting to break, but she's going to be really hard. She's so tired. All right, guys. I wonder if somebody's licking your face. Are they licking your face? Is your sister licking your face? All right, guys, I am going to head off. I hope this video helps you with tear staining. Hi, David. David, definitely go back and watch the beginning of this because it'll help. So otherwise, I'm going to go if there's not any other questions, and I will see you guys next video. I don't know. Somebody asked me to do one on feet. I did one the other day, but I think I can do it a little bit because we kind of did both. We did nail trimming and we did a foot soak that helps really a lot for chewing on the feet. But just so you know, a lot of times chewing on the feet is also caused by gut bacteria. So that's my little plug for the eventual foot soak thing that I'll show you guys. So I have to show you guys this. This is what's staring up at me. Don't I have the best job? Come on, right? You're welcome, Nate. I love educating. It's one of my favorite things to do. I mean, why not use everything that you learn? These guys are so tired. They're so cute. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.